Hey everyone, it's Dave. I'm back with my 1990 Mazda Miata. It's been about 2 years since its last transmission oil change, so that's the job on the docket for today. So let's get started. You're watching Dave's Auto DIY. So what we're going to need for this job is we'll need a drain pan to collect the transmission oil, a ratchet and a 24mm socket, a torque wrench to torque back up the drain plug, a 5/8" box end wrench for the fill plug. There are two kinds of transmission oil that seem pretty popular. The one is this Ford Motocraft product XT-M5-Q5, and the other is Redline MT-90. Both are GL4 type lubricants. You need a GL4 for this transmission. Ford only had 2 quarts, so luckily I had a whole quart left from the last time. It takes 2 quarts, but using a pump like this, I won't be able to get all of it out of this bottle, so I'm going to need a little bit more than 2 quarts, plus I'm going to fill up the turret up top. And you'll need a little Phillips screwdriver and a 10mm socket to get the shifter out inside. And I've got a little bit of gasket maker, which I'll show you what that's for on the inside as well. So it's best to drain the transmission oil when it's warm. It's always important to start with the fill plug, which is that square plug up on the left side of the transmission. You don't want to drain the oil and then find out that you can't get the fill plug open, or you'll be in a bunch of difficulty. And this is the drain plug. It's a little bit drained out. Then I'll open it's more than a little bit dripping out. Put my drain pan under it. And then I'll open the 24mm main drain. I'll just let that drain for a few minutes. Just checking out the drain plug. There's not much metal on there. No sign that I have a problem with the transmission. I have a brand new crush washer on there, and I will reattach it and torque it up to between 29 and 43 foot-pounds. And then just like engine oil, you want to dispose of this safely with hazardous waste. Now I've attached the pump to my bottle of transmission oil, and I'm just going to pump it in through the fill hole. I'm going to keep going until it starts flowing out, knowing that it's full. Make sure your car is pretty level for this. You don't want to do this with just the front end jacked up. You want to make sure your car is level so you're getting a good level in the transmission. This is a messy job. This little pump of mine doesn't seal great. That's what I mean about once the pump starts, once you start getting low in the bottle, it's hard to get it pumped. So I'm going to start the next bottle and I'll pour the remnants from the first bottle into the second bottle to get as much as I can out of the bottles before I move on to the third. There it is. It's full now. It's starting to drip. I'll just leave it drip into the pan and then reinstall that fill plug. You're definitely going to need 3 quarts. Even though I think the spec is 2.1 quarts, you can't get all of it out of a bottle using this pump method. So you're going to need a third. That's just a slow drip now, so I will put back in the fill plug and tighten it up. Now there's a little bit of oil in the turret just below the shifter. So to get to that, we're going to need to remove the center console and the shifter itself. There are 2 screws back underneath the cubby and 2 screws on either side to remove the plastic cover. And it turns out there's one screw underneath the ashtray area as well. Just thread off the shift knob, and then you should be able to lift the console forward, moving it forward to slide it over the fuel lever at the back. And there are 4 bolts to remove this outer cover. Now this cover is kind of attached tightly here at the top, so I'm going to try to remove the 3 bolts underneath while leaving this cover attached to the shifter itself. So with those 3, these are all 10mm bolts, then you can remove the shifter and expose the turret underneath. So there it is, empty after using a turkey baster to remove as much oil as I can. So now to fill the turret, you go in the car and you just fill it up from the top, but it doesn't take much at all. Use the same oil as you use in the transmission. I'm going to fill it up, not quite to the top, so it doesn't spill when I stick the shifter ball in. So it looked like there was remnants of an old gasket on there when it came off that I cleaned up. So I put and I smoothed it out, a little thin layer of black gasket maker on there before I'm going to reinstall the shifter. So get the shifter in, it sort of snaps into place there, and then put on the 3 lower bolts, tighten those up, 10mm. There's 4 more up top here, and then we can just re-put that old ratty insulation around, and the shifter, well, wait, we can't do the shifter knob until we do the center console, I think. Slide the center console back over that fuel release lever first, attach that electrical connection, those 5 screws, and thread back on the shift knob. So that's it. That's all it takes to change the transmission oil in a first generation Mazda Miata. So I hope you learned something, I hope you hit subscribe, and I hope to see you next time on Dave's Auto DIY.